Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It is time for our weekly shop update. All sorts of stuff going on in the shop today, so let's get after it. It is August 11th, which is my father-in-law's birthday. Unfortunately, we lost him a few months ago, but his birthday is still marked on my calendar. He was a wonderful man. We will miss him an awful lot. So, yeah, not the most uplifting way to start a shop update, but still, in memory of him, this shop update's for him. Okay. Two things left to do on the Doug Weaver F Production Miata. Mount some tires and clean it up. He will be here next week. Pick this baby up. Spoiler is not on it, but that makes it easier to load and unload. So the car really has turned out good. If you've been paying attention at all, you know that this car got a complete engine overhaul and a complete car rewire. Really happy with how we can simplify these wiring jobs. Of course, this car has a really nice AIM dash in it. This is an MXL2, one of my favorite dashes, and kind of reconfigured all the switches, and yeah, it's really looking good. Lots and lots of upgrades have gone on with this car, including the new brake upgrade, of course, and I did a custom JPM suspension alignment and corner weight. So just charging the battery here, came off the dyno looking like a champ. For those of you that run total loss systems, I suggest these Schumacher. This one's called a speed charger. They used to call them smart chargers. It will give you the percentage of the battery. Right now we're at 70%. And the thing I really like about these is you can pick your amperage. You can also pick the type of battery that you have. So this is kind of what I suggest. What it will do is it will analyze your battery, and then it will charge it properly. And when it is completely charged, it will go to trickle mode, and it will just keep your battery maintained. So just about done here. All I have left is to clean it up and mount these, of course, Hoosier tires. It's the same tires that I run on my car. And I've got some brand new stickers here. He is heading up to Groton next weekend, so he will be here next week to pick it up, and the car will be 100% ready to go. Speaking of cars that are almost ready to go, the tires are on the BMW, and that's because it's basically done. Brakes, differential, nut and bolt check, everything is done. So what I like to do before the runoffs is get it back up on the alignment rack, make sure that the alignment and corner weights are perfect. I do bias my cars depending on the track we're going to. Of course, the runoffs are at Indianapolis this year, meaning that there are more right-handers than left-handers, but there's a combination of both. And so I will bias the car a couple tenths of a degree more camber on the left side, not much. And I also do have a lot of data based upon a lot of these fast tracks that are mainly right-hand corner tracks. So kind of going with the same setup that I had at Elkhart Lake. So for anybody that is heading to Indianapolis and have been to Elkhart Lake, I would suggest that you do something similar, very similar. Did finish up another engine for the GT1 / Trans Am Cadillac. This is a brand new refreshed engine, ready to go. Steve's going to be picking it up later today, and that car is actually going to be coming to live here over the winter. So we will be doing all sorts of fun stuff. So stay tuned for Project GT1 Cadillac for the winter time. First Bill Knight's car if you watched last week's, you know that we are in the middle of a complete rewire. Haven't quite started yet on the install. There's the new harness. Just to give you an idea of how big this harness is. It's not that big, and some of these wires I'll pull out and get rid of. We won't need all of them. Nice little ECU. But what has happened here is a complete gutting of the wiring. So this car was running a stock ECU right here, which actually sits up under the hood. And then we have all of this wiring, which is about 25 pounds. This is a complete wiring harness out of an MX-5. Might be asking yourself, why in the world would he pull all the stock wiring out? Well, I don't trust this old wiring. In a race car, I want fresh wiring, so it's going to get an all-new harness, not just the ECU, but you know, all of the stuff. You know, we're going to have fresh wiring, obviously, for all of the VVT controls, coils, fuel injectors. We are going to retain the drive-by-wire throttle body, and the Haltech can certainly handle that, no problem. So this is kind of the next thing I'm going to be jumping into here. It's a really, really nice chassis built by Berg Racing out in the Northeast. But we're going to rewire this baby, make it a little better of a standalone setup, but a really, really nice car. So looking good here. Got a new batch of Carbotech brake pads for the Integra, for the Runoffs, of course. A little tech tip for you. If you're running, well, any kind of brake pad, this is what I like to run in the dry. These are XP20s. It's a pretty aggressive pad. And then these 10s are what we will put on for the rain. I learned a long time ago that if you run too aggressive of a pad in the rain, it will never warm up and you just flat won't have brakes. So actually right in the middle of setting the master cylinder and brake booster depth, which is kind of a tricky little process, but fortunately Cliff Ira loaned me this factory manual, and so it tells you exactly how to make this happen. We've been fighting a little bit of long pedal situation, and I believe I've got that all figured out. So prep continues on the Integra for the Runoffs. We're looking pretty good, actually, really good. As I mentioned last week, Eric Pearl was on vacation, but I thought he was probably going to get after it, and he certainly has. So we've got the motor all sealed back up, back in the car, transmission's rebuilt, Runoffs prep continues. So looking really good here. As I mentioned before, this valve cover is just something that we will run on the dyno, and then it will get covered up with the full valve cover so that we don't get any rocks in our timing belt. So won't be too much longer and he'll be looking good. I know he's got some fenders back there he's going to be working on, try to make the car a little more aerodynamic, but all in all, looking really, really good. Can't complain about any of that. So am waiting on some pistons for about 4 engines that should be coming together here in the next few weeks. It's been a bit of a process with a little bit of a snafu from the piston manufacturer. A slight mistake on their part in the design, but we got it figured out, and those should be here, I'm hoping next week is my goal. So we shall see. But that's kind of where we're at this week, guys. Always something going on around here. I've had a lot of cars on the dyno in the last week. It's also extremely hot here in Topeka, so trying to do all of the dynoing before noon, and it's worked out pretty well so far, but it's not a lot of fun in the dyno bay when it's 100 degrees outside. So trying to avoid that as much as possible. Hope you guys have had a great week. We are having a great summer, and the Runoffs are upon us. We are about 6 weeks out here from leaving to head towards Indianapolis, so these next 6 weeks will fly by pretty quickly, and hoping to bring back another one of these flags here. That's kind of the goal every year. Of course, this is my 20th Runoffs, and I've managed to win it 4 times, but it is not an easy task. I think we're sitting in a pretty good spot again this year, but we shall see. Along with all of my other customers, I think I was counting that I have about 30 engine customers running at the championships this year, so obviously we'll be there to not only race myself but to help them as much as possible. That's the biggest goal for me, is to get my customers to the front of these packs as well. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about anything that you see, feel free to comment below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that when these live videos for the shop tours go up, you don't miss them. Obviously, I'm recording this slightly ahead of time, but you can watch it live or anytime on the JPM Performance channel. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.